This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, my name is Yasir Gulfraz and I'm your tutor for people in organizational communication or people in organizational management. Uh, we will discuss some communication related, organizational communication and structural related issues. This unit aims to develop knowledge and understanding of those aspects of organizations that concern and support people. This includes communication practices, teamwork, organizational structures, and also using this knowledge and understanding, learners will be able to review the impact of workplace practices on people. So, first, we will discuss what is communication. So, communication, anybody can tell me what communication is? Okay. Communication can be defined as the process by which information is exchanged and understood by two or more people. So, usually with the intent or to motivate or influence behavior. So, basically, this means that organizational communication is any type of communication you do at work about work. This includes things like communicating about individual tasks, sharing project status updates, or giving feedback to managers or employees. And also, it includes things like communication about individual tasks, sharing project status updates, or giving feedback to managers or your employees. Uh, Also, communication is there are different type of communication which we'll discuss later on this chapter. But model of communication, we will see what is model of communication first. Sender encode messages. Here you can see the picture of communication, model of communication, process picture, which you can see sender encodes messages. Then there is a channel between, and then receiver decode messages. So uh, what is sender communication? What is senders? The sender generate the message basically and convey it to the receiver, or he's the basically he's the source. And second thing is channel. This is how the coded message is conveyed. The message can be conveyed verbally or in writing, and also then decode. It is process of changing the signal sent by the sender after decoding the message is received by receiver. And the if you see the picture, there is a receiver is the last person in the chain and receive the message sent by the sender. So if the receiver receives the message and understand it correctly, then the purpose of the communication is achieved. So here you can see the noise as well. Noise refers to any limit caused by the sender, message, or receiver during the communication process. For example, like incorrect telephone connection, incorrect coding, incorrect recording, incorrect understanding of message. So communication, there is another thing which is communication channels. So communication channel richness or communication channels refer to the amount of non-verbal communication, or you can uh, say that communication provided and the familiarity of feedback. Face-to-face communication is very high in richness, and because it includes non-verbal behavior and has immediate feedback. So here you can see pyramid which shows different kind of communication, high richness channel and low richness challenge, or sorry, channels. So high richness channels like face-to-face talk, telephone, email, internet, and then it comes to a low channel richness, which is formal reports, bulletin, memos, like letters, these kind of stuff. Now, there is analyze the benefit of effective communication to organization. So effective communication skills play a vital role from our personal to professional life. A good communication can resolve lots of problem. If you want to a good communicator, you need to understand the importance of effective communications skills, what is necessary for. So basically within the organization or in our personal life or any other professional life, there are many advantages of communication skills. So you can, that build your relationship and friendships. You can gain professional if you are very good in communication. You can get very good professional success, help people to adopt their ideas, or uh, lead to successful careers. Also, people will like you better, or they will, they will love to talk to you about because of your communications. So next, it says effective communication may contribute to organizational success in many ways. Yeah, if you work in any organizational, you can build employees satisfaction, morals, satisfaction and engagements. You also can help employees understand terms and conditions of their employment, and their committed and loyalty. Also, you can educate other employees, give employees to voice, helps to lessen the chance to misunderstanding and potentially reduce grievance and lawsuits. Also improves process and procedures and ultimately creates greater efficiencies and reduce cost. Good communication matters to work at work because few jobs are also acts it takes communicate to work on a team, and even people working alone have to report to their bases. If you run a business, you have to tell employees what expected of them. So in that way, you can building a team. Effective honest communication can build employees together. If the staff are talking with each other on the job, they can understand each other's problem, they can build a good teamwork. So employees who look forward to talking with their challenges are more enthused about coming to work. So another thing which is very important at work or for any organization, that making things clear. That's mean you tell them what you want and what they want. Confusing instruction and unclear guidelines are bad for any company, any organization, or for any person. So also when communicating with employees, managers have to be clear about what they want and what they expect. Uh, Also, it works understand their duties and responsibilities. Everything flows more smoothly. You can, I mean, that you can tell them uh, if you can communicate what do you want and what are their duties. So it works very, in works very smoothly and nicely. So also managing diversity in workplace, good communication is even more important, guys. If the workforce is diverse with a mix of races, nationalities, genders, or faiths, or the job. Obviously, every day we see that there are different kind of races, nationalities, and different believers work on the different places. So this is a very important to good communication. Also, policies that clearly spell out how the company applies rewards and penalties can clear things up. Also, we believe that clear guidelines telling employees how to treat each other, okay, which is very important, that how to talk to each other, how to treat each other. So it uh, very much helps avoid, that conflict between people or employees. Okay. Also, we will discuss dealing with the problems. So bad communication causes all sort of problems, like two employees receive conflicting or different instructions, and also HR issues a warning without finding out what the real issues, or a supervisor does not respond to questions or avoids discussing employees issues. So uh, good communication skills can resolve the problems. They understand each other and prevent them from developing the in the any conflict, or better, prevent them from developing in the first place. Also, we will discuss analyze policies and procedure that are used to enhance communication and organizational. This is a 1.2 if you look at your learning outcomes. Unfortunately, for some reason, I can't upload, or I can't share my screens. I think so. There is some technical issues or what. But anyway, if I can explain you that one of the major challenge in developing and executing communication plans is to select the best vehicles for delivering and giving message to and from employees. So with so many choices such as face-to-face communication, electronic media, meetings, printed materials, and webinars, the decision become quite complex. When selecting the best communication vehicle, organizational leaders should consider timing. The timing of the information may be imperative, such as in emergency situations. Locations also, employees location may affect this selection. Are all employees in one building at multiple sites, or situated globally? Do any work virtually? Also, message, another issue that affect the decision in the sensitivity of the information for layoff or termination information. Most professionals agree that face-to-face uh, meetings trump any other means of communication, but some issues may make these meetings impossible due to the geographical location of the employees, the number of employees affected, and other factors, like some people are working from different parts of countries, and some working from other countries. Obviously, some multinational companies work globally. So also we will discuss here managers as information nerve center. So manager who always that uh, provide the main information, he get informations from the his higher management, and he provide you internal information and external uh, information, and they work as a information process communicator, manager as a communicator. Next thing is employees handbook. Employees handbook is used to communication standard, organization operating procedures, guideline, and policies. The handbook is also used to communicate the organization mission, vision, and values, helping to establish an organizational culture and employment brand. While most employers' handbooks traditionally have been produced in print format. So there are different ways to communicate. Company use different ways for communication, like they use handbooks, they use newsletters, are used to communicate new information about the organization about its products or services or its employees or day-to-day activities. Next thing is email. Obviously, email is a technology is very that much effective nowadays. So electronic communication is a fast and easy way to reach many employees. So at once, it may be best used when information is urgent. So such as in emergencies, email communication presents some difficulties because tone of voice and inflection are absent, making an ironic or harsh, which may not be intended message. Also, telephone is another way to communicate information to employees, whether it is used to the traditional sense when face-to-face communication. But in that way, you can't communicate your message into many employees. But obviously, if there is emergency for one or few employees, you can communicate your issues by telephone. Also, survey, when that is two-way communication is vital to any effective communication strategy, and developing formal tactics to listen to employees is essential. Uh, Employees can elicit fast feedback through surveys and polls about specific issues like a new benefit of uh, policy, general concerns, or any other, you can say, might be product. So there is another thing which is we will discuss legislations, explain legislations relevant to communication within organization. So there are many legislations, and there are many laws about communication nowadays and before. Obviously, uh, with time, there was many changes. So here, where there the Data Protection Act 1998, which I will explain you by myself. Uh, uh, the Data Protection Act 1998 replaced the data 1984, which barely covered digital media and computers. Data Protection Act 1998, they are talking about Data Protection Act 1998, has 8 principles which were used to organizations to design their own data protection policies. If I can explain you in my own words and easily, it should be fair, lawful, and purpose, accuracy, retention, right, security, international transfer. So, Data Protection Act, there is a Data Protection Act 2018 controls how personal information is used by organizational business. Here, they discuss Data Protection Act 1998, which was now General Data Protection Regulations 2018. So this means that use Data Protection Act 2018 control how personal information is used by organizations, businesses, or government. UK's implementations of the General Data Protection Regulations uh, must used fairly, lawfully, for specified purpose, and also handled in a way that ensures appropriate security, of customers. So privacy and electronic communications regulations 2003, there is another act which uh, is about marketing or direct marketing uh, by electronic means, including marketing calls, texts, emails, faxes, security of public electronic communication services, privacy of obviously customer using communications network or services as regards traffic and location data, and identification services and directly listing. Here also we will discuss about Freedom of Information Act. Uh, 2000 provides public. This means that it provides public access to information held by public authorities. So public authorities are obliged to, publish certain information about their activities, and also members of the public are entitled to required information from public authorities. So basically, this act does not necessarily cover every organization that receives public money. For example, it does not cover some charities and that certain private sector organization or that perform public functions. Uh, we will also now we'll come back to that learning outcomes. If you look at page 21, we will discuss about uh, page 21. There is evaluate how the organizational structure. So organizational, here we will discuss about structure of organization. So is system that outlines how certain activities are directed in order to achieve the goals of an organization. So basically organizational structures, there is a command chain of command, or there is a that a step by step structure, which is first one is chain of command, a management principle that no person should report to more than one boss. Like if there is a clerical staff, or there is a any supervisor, they can report to their manager, but they can't report to CEO or any other higher director. They only report to their first manager. If I say in simple words, they can report to their first manager, or section manager, or direct manager. So next thing is span of control, the number of subordinates a manager can direct effectively and effectively, sorry. So also authority, the right inherent in a manager's managerial position to give order and expect them to be obeyed. The fourth thing is responsibility, an obligation to perform assigned activities. It's a responsibility to perform their activities, and also power, individual capacity to influence decision. uh, if as it says clearly that command of uh, command of chain is talking about command of chain, or organizational structures. Basically in this section is determines the manners and extent to which roles and responsibilities are delegated. Organizational structure shows how information flows between the level of management. Okay, so also next thing is functional depart here we will discuss about departmentalization. What is departmentalization is an organizational structure where business leader divide team according to the professionals, like area of professionals. This means that if a company is creating a new product, there many maybe one team of marketing specialist, another team of finance specialist, software designers, and a team of data scientists. Uh, Next thing is I will for you guys I will explain in my own words a few things. Obviously, you have a learning outcomes, so you can check over here. but will be more easy for you if I can explain you in short. Divisional organizational structure. Uh, Next thing is divisional organizational structure. Divisional organizational structure is a system in which a company segments its employees based on products, markets, or opposed to their job roles. Uh, Next thing is matrix departmentalization. Okay. To the structure departmental matrix departmentalization refers to the structure that allows the combination of different and multiple departments to collaborate on a specific project. Okay, it combines both the functional and task-oriented department to improve the operation of the project. So here next is they are talking about formal structure versus social structure. So what is formal structure? Uh, Formal structure basically the formal structure of organization includes fixed set of rules and structures. Formal structure, a formal organization has its own set of distinct characteristics, including well-defined organizational structure, objectives, and policies. So, formal structure is basically structure, fixed set of rules and structures. So next thing is versus obviously social structure. Social structure also called informal or informal structure as well. So informal organization is an interconnected social structure that regulate how people work together in practice. Informal organization develop in response to changes in the work environment, the flow of people across the porous boundaries. So next thing is organization. If you look at further, we will discuss about organization, team. Here it talks about special. Sorry, it's just hang on for a minute. Yeah, sorry. It it discuss about after formal and social structure. It discuss about yeah, network based organization. So team based organization, horizontal cooperation, corporations. So, what is first we will look at team-based organization. Team-based organization is how people work for a common purpose, common project, or common aim. So, set of performance goals and approach for which they hold themselves they are mutually accountable, so they discuss their basic aim is same project or same purpose. So uh, horizontal structure is organized around customer-oriented process performed by a multidisciplinary across functions team other than by formal functional departments. Obviously, they work for a same project. It's not, but it's the same project, but they do their own different work. If somebody is doing, shipping, he will work on the shipping, sales, process analysis. They do their own, they do work their own area of job or project. Now, after this organizational structure, first we discussed communication and type of communications and impact of communication. Also, then we discussed about organizational structure, different type of organizational structure. Now we will see that technology, impact of new technology. Here we will discuss little bit about new technology. The impact of new technology has, it says, impact of technology has both positive and negative sides. So logically thinking, technology has, that better the communication process, and has done some harm. Obviously, there are some good positive effects, and also there are some negative effects of technology. So workplace, a situation in which an employee works mainly from home and communicate like a remote working. So now we'll discuss about like a remote working. Remote work is a situation you guys see is that uh, during the COVID, that most of people started work their home. So it's a very common now, even after that, mostly people working from home. So basically, which an employer works mainly from home and communicates which with the company by email and telephone. But what are the benefits of remote working? So the main benefits are for organization or for workplace are increasing work productivity, okay, lower employee stress, lower carbon footprint, improving work-life balance, and saving employers money. Obviously, they don't use much money on electricity, overheads, or some other things like stationary office stuff and these kind of things. Uh, Also, web isolating, maintaining consistency. Major IT organizations like such as Amazon, Google, and eBay have been migrating their interface for business purpose to services-oriented architectures using the web service technology. So, due to its flexibility and dynamically, web service allows organization to easily integrate services across different organization as well as within organization. So work web services operation of a transaction release lacks on its resources once its job are completed without waiting for the completion of others operation. So there are special, the next thing is, if you look at page 33, special barriers to organizational communication. So there are many, that barriers, if in any organization, there are many issues, barriers, and problems, interpersonal barriers, uh, like it says interpersonal barriers, authority, task, political identity, organizational culture, organizational organization structures. So like, let's say authority, some people think so they are final authority, so you can't go to someone else, or you can't discuss to others. There are too much politics within the organization, that pulling each other legs, or everybody trying to be or showing that showing off basically his or her efficiency, identity. They that they just don't tell you exactly what they are and what they're doing, okay. And organizational structures, again, like organizational culture or structure, it says structure says that you must report your higher manager or executive, but some people think that they are trying to go higher, go to higher executives and try to do some that different kind of stuff. So next is getting upward feedback, okay. So whenever we get feedback, we try to get feedback, positive feedback, and we try to get feedback from people we think that they are very much sincere and honest with us, and they can give honest uh, advice as well, or honest feedback. So uh, we always try to get feedback from people we can trust. So also feedback is too general, ask for example of specific behavior. Do not overreact or underreact to feedback. So also explain what you are going to do in response to the feedback when we get feedback regarding our product or work or anything else. So we basically we looked at we always a few things. The first is we always get feedback from our honest and trustworthy people. So feedback is to journal, ask for examples, okay, and don't blame others, don't talk about people, uh, do not overreact. I mean that some people explain too much and that too much negative things, so shouldn't do things like that. Do not once the feedback is complete, summarize what the speaker said to make sure that you understand. So also explain what you are going to do in response to the feedback, like what you're gonna improve things, performance or whatever. So also finally thanks the person for his or her concern and advice. So fostering upward organizational communication. So we get in for organizational communication or things from a different ways, like social gatherings, different kind of union publications like leaflets, emails, or so on. Regular meetings, we can hold regular meetings, performance, also grievances, attitude surveys, suggestion system, getting suggestions from a different uh, people, open door policy, indirect mayors, or like email. Uh, Also improving downward communication, which is open book management. Management style in which a company opens its books to the employees, sharing financial data, explaining numbers, and rewarding uh, workers for improvement. So guys, we discussed a few things. The first thing was communication. The second thing was organizational structure, chain of command and how organizational works, and how chain of command works. And the last thing was, uh, the barriers and, you know, things like, some laws regarding communication laws. So that's it. So hopefully, if you got any issues or any problem or any questions regarding today's lecture, please drop me an email at tutor@ukversity.com. And thank you very much for uh, attending this lecture today. So have a good weekend and bye, guys. Thank you.